Hello, welcome to, or back to my channel. My name is Emily, and I just make a ton of travel content on here, one day full time. But for now, my most recent trip was to Puerto Rico, and I had a good but very chaotic time. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of recap everything, how much everything cost, what I did in this video here. I made a vlog during my entire trip, so if you're interested in that, you can find that somewhere. I don't know if I have enough subscribers to link it. So, brief recap of my trip. Sunday, I arrived in the afternoon, checked into my hostel, and went straight to El Chile to see Bad Bunny. Day 2, Monday, woke up, went around Old San Juan and explored, and went to the beach. Day 3, Tuesday, my friend woke up with sun poisoning, so we stayed inside most of the day. We did some museums, some shopping. I went to the beach, and then my friend decided to go to the hospital. She didn't want me to come, which is why I didn't go. I tried to go many times, but she told me not to. Then we met up for dinner, and she was okay. The final day was Wednesday. Checked out of our hostel, went to a few more museums, then headed to the airport and went home. I really did have a good time during my days in Puerto Rico. I really wish I was there longer. It was chaotic. Every day there was, besides Monday, every day there was some kind of chaos, and we decided, my friend and I, that Puerto Rico won. Puerto Rico won, Emily and my friend Nicole 0. So we definitely need to go back and do it again. So let's start with my hostel. I stayed at Juliet's Women's Only Hostel. It is in San Juan, about 15 minutes from Old San Juan, which I thought was a pretty good area. It was super close to the beach, which was nice, and only a 15-minute walk to get to the old town. I felt like the area was pretty safe. I didn't feel unsafe at all during my time in Puerto Rico. And the hostel was great. It had a code to get into the building, which on top of being a women's only hostel, I felt super safe the entire time. The hostel doesn't really have a ton other than the beds. There is a small area you can sit at the front by reception, and there's also actually another building. It's a co-working space, so if you are traveling as you work, that could be a really cool option too. And all of the rooms have AC, which I loved because it is August as I'm recording this, and it's brutally hot. Maybe not for some people, but I was just wet and sticky the entire time I was there, so the AC was a blessing. And in total, I think the hostel was completely worth it. I really liked it and would definitely stay there again. It was $38 a night, and then with tax ended up being $130 for my entire stay, so I was very happy. I think it's well worth the price, and would definitely stay there again. So next, for flights and transportation, I ended up only booking 3 Ubers, which also is partly due to the fact that I came with my friend and we split everything. So as a semi-employee girl, that really helped me out. My first Uber was from the airport to the hostel, and that was $16 flat. My Uber, I booked 2 Ubers on Wednesday. One was $7.98 and the other was $6.98, so didn't break the bank with those, which was nice. We also kind of walked everywhere we possibly could, which helped us out a lot. Then for my other transportation costs, I took a train from my house in Connecticut to the airport. That was $22 for one part of it, and then the air train from Jamaica to JFK was $4.25. Then for my flight to Puerto Rico was $2.99, I believe, on JetBlue, and then on Delta, the way home from Puerto Rico was $187. So in total in transportation, I spent $543.21, which I believe was completely worth it in my opinion. So next, let's get to food and drinks, because I really ate very well. Everything I had in Puerto Rico was delicious, which I feel like is not something I can say about every place that I visit. So go Puerto Rico food, I love you. First, The only food that I bought on Sunday was at El Jolly. I got nachos and a drink from a food truck. I'm sorry I did not write down which one, but it was $22 total, and the nachos are pretty good. I remember the chicken being delicious, and the drink was really strong. I remember taking a sip and being like, ooh, it's like I took a shot. So I definitely think that was well worth money. The next day for breakfast, we went to Pilau Bakery, was $12.83. This eggs, ham, and toast dish that was really good. I liked it, except for the fact that I asked for egg whites, and I did not get egg whites because I am anti-yolk. And they still gave it to me, but it's okay. I know working in customer service is like a difficult job. I still work in customer service now, so it happens. I survived. But the food was pretty good and very tasty otherwise. Then also Monday for lunch, we ate at this bar like straight across from Juliet's women's only hostel. It was cash only, and there was no menu, and the guy just told us what we could order, and I picked something, and I remember, you can go look at it in my vlog, it was not like the most aesthetically appearing meal, so I was like, how will this be? And it was delicious. The meat was like so well seasoned, every bite was so good, and the rice just looked like plain white rice, but had so many flavors to it. They brought us this chili that was really good, and we made a friend with a man at the bar as we sat there, so that was a really fun and enjoyable lunch too, and I paid for both my friends and I's meals because I was the only one who had cash, and it was $25 for both of our meals, so cannot complain about that. The next meal I paid for was on Tuesday. We went for lunch to this place called Tostado, and it was really good. I got this sandwich. I felt like an elevated like afternoon tea sandwich. It had cucumber, lox, cream cheese, and I think a few other things on it, and it was delicious. And every single meal I think came with these chips that they make in-house that felt very, very healthy, like my mother would buy every single week if they were near us. So really enjoyed eating there. It was $40.40 for my friend and I. Next, now we're on to Wednesday. In the morning, I went to Bertha's Bakery. We stopped there earlier in the week as well, but I think my friend paid the first time, and I paid in cash, but I got a pain au chocolat, and it was delicious. Everything there was so good. So if you're near the hostel, it's like literally a block away, and it's this lady, and she makes these fantastic pastries. So really enjoyed Bertha's Bakery. When I caught up with my friend slept in, so I went to the bakery by myself. We went and got breakfast, and it ended up being $39.42. It was from this food truck. To be honest, that doesn't sound right because we got like 2 little sandwiches, but whatever. It was a great breakfast because this food truck with these 2 little old ladies, and they were so sweet, and one of them was from Westchester County. I'm from Connecticut, and my best friend is from that area or nearby in New York. So we're like, oh my god, neighbor, what are you doing here? And she grew up in Puerto Rico, lived in the US for a bit, has family there. So it was just really fun to talk with her. I just noticed how warm and kind all the people I met in Puerto Rico were, and I lived in Spain for a bit, and I never felt that welcomed or embraced by strangers ever. So I was like, damn, Puerto Rico's got good ass food, the nicest people, so beautiful. I was like, wow, I love it here. So that was a really nice meal, a nice social connection with someone I didn't know. Also on Wednesday at the airport, we got lunch. We split like this charcuterie board and a salad, and we both got drinks, and it was $70.83. I think it was fine. We were both kind of delirious at that point because we were schlepping around our big ass bags with all of our belongings from the last few days and all the shopping we did, and neither of our bags fully zipped and we had been carrying them around for hours, so we were just going crazy. Last food and drink that I bought was our drinks at the bar in the airport, because I kid you not, there were like 2 areas where you could charge your phone, and it had like 5 outlets each. I was like, how is this entire wing of people, there were like 20 gates, supposed to only charge here? So we went inside the bar and got a drink so we could charge our phones there. But then they changed our boarding time. It was crazy because our flight was at 6 and our boarding time on the pass said 5:40 and it's 5:30. And I'm like, I was gonna say Peter Dingle, my intuition's like, maybe we should look at the gate. And I turn and look at the gate. There's no one there. I was like, oh my God. So like Nicole, my friend, sprints over there. I pay for our drinks and I sprint over there and we're the last people to get on the plane. So it was just one of the many chaotic moments we had on this trip. But overall, food and drink, delicious, phenomenal. I spent $249.57 on food, and I would do it again. It was great. So now, let's talk about Bad Bunny, because that was the most stressed I have been in a really long time, and I think it kind of set the tone for the rest of the trip. But basically, first of all, it's like this huge, like massive people just like shoving forward trying to get into the building. There's like not really a line, so we're like pushing ourselves forward. It's like 7:30 and we're getting up to the metal detector, and all of our friends told us to get in way earlier, like our random friends we met in the hostel. I'm like, maybe they were kind of right, we probably should have gone there earlier. But we get through the metal detector, we're in, and we're like, here. We bought our tickets back in February on StubHub for $385, so pretty expensive. And we scanned them in. The lady goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry, but one of your tickets has already been scanned in. So we're like, Nicole and I are like looking back at each other, like trying not to panic. We're like, oh, okay, so what does that mean? Like, can you get your boss to help us? And she's like, no, like, since you guys like bought them on a secondary platform on StubHub, like we can't help you, even though the seller sent us the tickets from Ticketera, and like, so we had the original tickets, but because we personally didn't buy them on the platform, they couldn't help us. So they basically were like, okay girls, like one of you needs to decide who's gonna stay and who's gonna go. And my friend and I are like we love Bad Bunny. Like, he's been my top artist on Spotify the past few years, and I think my friend Nicole, he's been one of her top artists for years as well. So we're like, we planned this back in February to come together. Like, it's not like, at this point we should have like flown to Puerto Rico to buy tickets in person. It would have been probably cheaper overall. So we're like panicking. Nicole is messaging like the StubHub bot, and I'm on the phone with like a StubHub rep, and I sent all of this to my mother, who's back in Connecticut, like who can turn on Karen mode like no one else I've ever known, was also on the phone with StubHub, and we're arguing for like 30 minutes, like, because this isn't our fault. They sold the ticket to someone else and us. How is that allowed? I guess it was kind of all over the news, so we should have known that it was a possibility, but we didn't think it was looking good until this angel came to us. This angel appeared, this girl and her boyfriend, and she was like, oh, like, we were so worried that was going to happen to us with our StubHub tickets, so we bought 2 extra. Like, do you guys want to buy them? And there's a girl behind us who was in the same situation, but she came alone, and I was like, oh my God. So I bought a ticket from them, well, Nicole and I did, for $100. So each of us paid $50 for both of us be able to enter. And we were like, well, can we still sit together? We asked the second girl who was having an issue with her ticket if like Nicole and I could go sit in those 2 and she could go sit in our seat, and she was like, to be honest, like, I paid a lot more money for my ticket, like I don't want to sit that far up, which is fair. I can't disagree with her on that. But then we were like, oh, let's go see if we can find the person who's at our seat. Like, I wonder if it's the person who sold it. So we go up there. Then we learn that they only scan your ticket when you go in the front door. Like, they don't scan it every single area. So they let us into our section, and it's a family sitting there, and there are 2 open seats. So we're like, okay, whatever, we'll just sit together. So that's what we did. And it was so stressful. Those like 30 minutes of arguing, like looking forward to this trip for months. Like, I bought these tickets when I was in a corporate job that I hated and hated my life and like was not in a great place mentally, and this was like my shining north star. I was like, I don't want to swear, but I was really upset. And it all worked out in the end. We got in, and it was a fantastic concert. Eladio Carrion, Can't remember if there's an I at the end over there. But I saw him. I know a few of his songs, which I love, so I was like so blessed to come on the day that he also performed. It was a really good concert. And then the maybe best part of it all is Wednesday morning we wake up, right? Nicole, the day before, sun poisoning. Like, we were supposed to go to El Yunque, but she didn't feel well and wasn't supposed to be in the sun, so we canceled it. We get a message from StubHub. We have refunded both of your tickets. So look at that. We were like over the moon. Basically free $50 Bad Bunny tickets. It was like all of that stress was like worth it in the end. I paid $50 to see Bad Bunny, paid $50 and got so much trauma and stress. Was it worth it? I would probably say so, but I would not recommend it to anyone. I hope none of you have to go through the stress that I went through. But yeah, that was my insane Bad Bunny story. So while I was in Puerto Rico, I mainly just shopped and went to museums. I don't have any other activities I really could recommend. But going through my museums that I went to, first was MADMI. It's Museo de Arte y Diseño de Myanmar, which is one of the neighborhoods in Puerto Rico, and I really like this museum. The building is all pink on the outside, and you go in, it's 2 floors with all different rooms that you can walk through, and all of the art is kind of different. It's all different mediums. It's not just one room that's all paintings. So I really enjoyed that museum, and also they have this room where you can make your own art at the top. So my friend and I did some coloring with oil pastels, which was like a very nice and relaxing act. So I definitely recommend checking out there. The second museum that we went to was the Museum of Modern Art, Puerto Rico. And this museum, I'm happy we went on a Wednesday because it's free to enter. Because there was only one exhibit that was open. And it took us maybe, 10-15 minutes to like really look at the art and interpret it. And then once we were out, we're like, wait, there's like 15 other rooms that are all empty. So that was a little bit disappointing, but hey, it was still pretty cool. And the third museum we went to was the Museum of Puerto Rico. And that was like probably the coolest museum we went into, because first, right, as I mentioned before, we're delirious with these ginormous bags we're carrying around, and we walk in and they're like, oh, perfect, you're here. And they put on this wristband that's Bad Bunny and Adidas decorated. We're like, what? We didn't sign up for anything. We're just showing up here. And we put all our stuff down, and they bring us into an exhibit showing all the collaborations between Bad Bunny and Adidas, which was sick. So you would go around and see all these shoes I've seen online, but like never purchased for years. Oh, beautiful. I had so much fun in that room, and I'm a really big F1 fan, and Bad Bunny has a song, Mercedes Carota, and he has like a F1 helmet with his name on it by Mercedes, so that was really sick. It was really cool to see. And then the entire museum, humongous and beautiful. We explored there for hours before we went in, got back on a plane to go home. But honestly, it was the coolest museum we saw there. A lot of history to be learned about Puerto Ricans in Puerto Rico, but what it's like to be a Puerto Rican in different parts of the world. It was really cool. So yeah, I would highly recommend the Museum of Puerto Rico. So cool. So let's talk souvenirs. I got some beautiful Bad Bunny merch. I got 2 from the store in Plaza Las Americas. It was awesome. I got this one, which I really like, and this one I haven't even worn yet, but I'm obsessed with it. I think it's just so cool. And I'm like imagining like both of these with like big shorts, giving like Adam Sandler oversized cool outfit. So this is what I'm gonna be wearing until it gets cold. Anyways, I also got this shirt. This shirt and the shirt I just threw were $111.50. So I don't know, I'll pay a lot of money for a nice oversized graphic tee. It's like my favorite thing to wear. Then I got this shirt from Valija. It was $41.14 and has this adorable stamp on the back. So I really like it. It has like a much boxier fit and like kind of longer sleeves, which you normally find on like a men's shirt. So I'm really happy with all of my shirts that I got. And I got 2 pieces of jewelry. They're from Seafoam Rare and Authentic, which was in Viejo San Juan. First, I got these earrings. It was buy one, get one free. Look how cool and unique they are. Like, I had never seen anything like this. I was like, this is giving like regal woodland fairy queen something. I got these, and I also got this bracelet. It's an evil eye. It has these little star cutouts, which I thought was really pretty. It's like, wow, I did a decent amount of shopping for me. I don't normally buy this many things when I travel places, because then I don't have enough room in my bag, which is exactly what happened this time. Can I twist my arm enough for you to see it? So those 2 together costed $39.03, which I'm very happy with. I love them both. I've already worn these twice. Yeah, that is all my shopping. It was total $191.67. Love it. Worth every penny. So my grand total for everything that I spent while in Puerto Rico is $1,164.45. I feel like for a 4-day, 3.5-day trip with like one of the probably coolest concerts I'll ever see in my life, I'd say it's worth the money. I think I wish I stayed a few more days since the hostel was so affordable and just seen more of the island, seen everything I wanted to see. Like, the money I spent, I don't regret it. I think it's fully worth it. I love Puerto Rico. I want to go back. Yeah, I think that's all I gotta say. Puerto Rican people are the nicest, kindest people ever, and they have great food and great shopping on their island, so I can't complain. I'll have to go back at some point and explore the nightlife a little more and go to Yunque and some more beaches. But yeah, this has been my Puerto Rican recap video from my time there. If you've made it to the end, thank you for watching. I appreciate you and I love you. And I make a lot of travel content. Hopefully one day I won't be living at home doing it. You and me will be traveling full time together. But right now I'm on my entrepreneurial grind, freelancing, trying to work for myself and make money. So if any of that relates to you, subscribe. We can be friends and grow together. So yeah, thank you for your time, and I will see you in the next video.